have 2 million voters out of the 4 million population, and we expect perhaps as many as 1 million voting in the primary.
This year, there's a reasonably good chance you will have 2 people standing in an actual election.
A man and a woman standing.
What does that mean to you as a Puerto Rican?
Well, it gives us the opportunity of letting people know in the mainland that Puerto Rico exists, that there is a difference between Puerto Rico and Costa Rica, about the disenfranchisement of Puerto Ricans, of the fact that we serve in the armed forces. We have a higher casualty rate than most states of the Union, yet none of our soldiers or sailors get the opportunity to vote for their commander-in-chief.
What factor do you think race and gender play in Puerto Rican politics? Obviously, Puerto Ricans range the color spectrum. What do you think?
Well, in terms of race, I think it has very little to do. We, as you say, we have the whole range, and there's more mixed blood in Puerto Rico than probably most places on the mainland, because we do not discriminate as openly. I can't say there's not any discrimination, but it's not as open as it still is in many other places in the nation. In terms of gender, we've always been said to be a Latino machista society. Machista meaning man over woman. But that has not been reflected in Hillary's numbers in Puerto Rico. We already had a female governor in Puerto Rico. We've already had a female speaker.
The big issue, obviously, in Puerto Rico is statehood, or the question of statehood.
The question of self-determination.
Yeah, can you explain this for me a little bit? What the various camps are and a little bit of the history.
Yeah, for 110 years, Puerto Rico has been part of the U.S. You have 4 million Puerto Ricans who are all American citizens who can move to the mainland freely, can vote if they move to the mainland without having to naturalize themselves or anything. And in Puerto Rico, we have developed a political system composed of basically 3 political parties that are political status based. And you have the party that supports the status quo, the current colonial territorial relationship. You have the statehood party, which obviously favors statehood, and the Independence Party. The Independence Party usually gets about 3 or 4% of the vote, and then the statehood and the status quo party basically divide up half and half the rest. So
there is difference.
Very significant differences. First of all, Hillary has always been involved in all the issues pertaining to Puerto Rico. She has filed legislation relating to status and not relating to status. She has gotten legislation passed in Congress. She's gone down to Puerto Rico when we've had hurricanes, and she was the first lady. Obama, in his 4 years as a senator, in spite of the fact that he represents a significant Puerto Rican population, especially in Chicago, has never co-sponsored or sponsored any legislation pertaining to Puerto Rico, never spoken a word on the floor of the Senate pertaining to Puerto Rico. And although we do not doubt his good intentions with regard to Puerto Rico, he has not put his good intentions into action during the 4 years that he has been in a position to help Puerto Rico out directly as a member of the United States Senate.